this is grace, not performance. So if you've been trying to do this right, pause. This reset is not a test. It's not a spiritual audition. It's not a scoreboard. God is not grading your mornings. He's forming your heart. Performance says, try harder so God will be pleased. Grace says, you're already invited. Now grow. There's a difference. You don't wake up early to impress Him. You don't pray to earn approval. You don't move your body to prove discipline. You respond because you're loved, not because you're being evaluated. When formation turns into performance, joy disappears and pressure takes over. That's not what this is, right? So, and again, like the emphasis on that part is something that we should, just emphasizing, right? There's the part that we're choosing, it's by grace. And I think, one of the things that we want to think about is when Jesus was being crucified, he had two people next to him. He was in the middle, right? I'm sure a lot of you probably know the story. And at this time, there was this guy, like the thief, right? The robber. He recognized as he was being crucified, he was on the cross. He recognized Jesus as the Son of God. And he had faith on the cross. And he was invited into paradise. Not because he did anything. If you to think about his history and the reason why he was being crucified, he was probably like, I don't know if you could call him an outcast, but he was someone who they thought that didn't deserve to be part of their society at the time. But because of his faith, he got saved. That was grace. So again, like if it's not what we do, it's not all what we do. So as long as you have faith, you believe, you do everything out of faith, and you live as Christ lived, the example that He left for us. That is all we need to do. It's not something that we do because we're trying to earn God's love, God's approval. No, we earn it. We already earned it first. I mean, sorry, we didn't earn it, but we received it as a gift. We don't have to earn it, but we received it already. Now, what we do is now our response to us receiving that gift. That's why it's important, right? So being saved, getting to heaven is different. And when people get to heaven, then we don't know what's in heaven, right? There's different ideas of what's in heaven, what will happen in heaven. But what we know is that we will be with God, we'll be with Christ. The old world will fall away and we'll have a new heaven and new earth. So that is exciting. To me, that is exciting. And it's just knowing that day when it comes, just being there and just realizing all the things that we worry about or the things that we were just trying to hold on to, they don't matter. they don't matter anymore. All right. And yeah, that's just something that if we can just keep in mind. I don't know, it's just perspective, right? Like paradigm shift, just to think about this stuff. It helps us to, really focus on what's the most important thing in life, right? The things that we worry about, and we stop trying to perform, right? So what we are doing today is completing day 6. We already done that. Notice where you've been striving. That's number 2. So part of a reflection, that's what we probably did as well, if you were writing down and following along. Number 3, release the pressure to do it perfectly. Perfectionists, it's not your job to be perfect. It's not your job. We're not perfect. Show up simply, honestly, right? Our job is to show up because we've already been invited to show up. Let obedience flow from gratitude, not fear. So that is what we're supposed to do today. So this is more of a reflection, right? Overall, like, okay, these are the things that we want to take into the day as action steps, right? We're not just listening to this. And I hope you're not just listening to this and not taking action. We're supposed to also take action in how we live our lives, right? So grace does not remove discipline. It removes desperation. So reflection, have you been approaching this rhythm with gratitude or with pressure? Again, the same thing. Like, how are you approaching this, right? Like, are you approaching this from a place of like, I want to perform more, I want to be perfect? Like, because that stuff actually adds stress to us, our lives, and so much pressure. So where are you, right? Are you showing grace to yourself? God is showing you grace. Are you showing grace to yourself as well? Or are you putting so much pressure on yourselves? Where have you been striving instead of resting in grace? Right? It's again the same thing. So no shame, just awareness. Grace anchors you. Performance exhausts you. Choose the anchor. All right. So choose grace over performance. Choose grace over performance. Right. So got to make sure that every single time, you remember God's grace is a gift. We don't deserve it, but God still gave it to us. So all the things that the world tries to pressure us into believing, into thinking, the identity that the world tries to cast on us, we should also resist that, because again, it's not of this world. We're not of this world. Our identity is in Christ. Right? We're with Christ, Jesus Christ, in the heavenly realms. Because through him, we're saved. And we've been invited into the relationship with the Father. And he is the Son of God. God's DNA in Christ